So the most recent title update had some changes to contains in the way that they actually take an angle to try to contain the quarterback. And a lot of players on Twitter were saying initially that the 335 wide was no longer an issue. Upon a little bit of further testing, the 335 wide is definitely here to stay, but in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to pick this up without having to use a tight end delay fade. Let's go ahead and get into it. What is up, guys? Zan from Zanbound YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how to stop the nickel 335 wide Mike Blitz meta. This is going to be without the use of a tight end delay fade. The horror. Now, as you recall, about a month ago, give or take, I did a video showing you guys how to correctly block the nickel 335 wide, in which we talked about the tight end delay fade. At that point in time, a lot of players were still using the running back to try to pick up this particular contain rush, and this particular tip was basically the meta from that point forward, showing you guys how to pick that up. A lot of players have been doing it at the pro level all year long, and a lot of other players started to figure it out along the way. Now, in today's video, in lieu of the patch that just came out, there are some quote-unquote changes that occurred with the contain rush angles in the nickel 335 wide. So we're going to go ahead and take the field here. I'm going to be running bunch, which is obviously the most meta formation in Madden right now. And of course, we'll stay in that Mike Blitz 3. And as you guys know, the main defensive meta was either to global blitz your linebackers, crash your defensive line up or down, shade your coverage underneath. You can play zone drops or hard flats, whatever you guys want. QB contain, and then kind of stand here over the nose tackle. You could get kind of crazy and stand on the running back side A gap or the tight end side A gap. And in general, if you guys sent 5 guys out on a route, you would end up getting screamed at for a sack. But you see right here that obviously this was something that they kind of changed the contain angle. So in general, you can kind of pick up these contains. It is a lot more, I would say, picky in terms of where you stand with your quarterback when it comes to this. Now, again, that was with the crash down, I believe, at the end of that last video. As you guys look at this here, crashing up, if they send 5 out, you should be looking at somebody coming in free or bouncing off and disengaging. You see that in general, it's still doing a better job, because basically the way that the contains work now is they try to get more depth on their rush angle. So it's allowing offensive linemen to kind of get back to them. Whereas in the past, they would kind of flow outside and around, as I bump my mic right there. And it would be really, really hard to get a body on them. Now, here's the issue, right? This isn't just the only setup for the Mike Blitz 3. A lot of players will actually crash their line out and spread them and then kind of stand down here. Again, you want to make sure that the nose tackle has that little red line with 2 different gaps. So he's 2 gapping off of the center. And what you're going to notice is, again, it's just a very inconsistent pressure to pick up. You can send 5 guys out and, it might pick it up the majority of the time. And then, on a random snap, sometimes it will let a guy through. So it can be kind of dangerous, obviously. And this is just with me kind of standing here. You'll notice that if you get closer to the guard, this is where it really starts to pour in, is when this happens. You see right there that, we didn't have that edge rusher picked up. He bumped into somebody and was coming in free. So really now you can't stack behind the nose tackle. You basically have to really stand over the guard, and then QB contain, pass commit, kind of strafe there in the gap. You see right there that it's kind of phasing people through. They're kind of like nano detecting a little bit, but there are some changes in terms of how the nickel 335 wide basically is not allowing you to have a free runner all the time, right? Again, like I said, there are pinch setups. There are, other setups that people will use. And again, you find that if you kind of stand in these gaps here, it does trigger guys to kind of slide inside. You see right there that our contain, comes in free, right? Now, again, contains are kind of taking they're getting better depth and a little bit better width as well, rather than shooting straight down and being actually a better edge rush angle than most edge rush blitzing angles, but really not doing a great job at controlling the quarterback scramble. You see right here as this works, you see how he kind of takes a shuffle. He gets a little bit more depth, a little bit more width, and then pursues the quarterback because he's a free runner. This is basically the change that EA made, and a lot of players are saying that the nickel 335 wide is not worth running now. A lot of players were already off the nickel 335 as is. If you guys are enjoying this free YouTube content, I would strongly urge you to go over to my strategy website. GridironGamePlans.gg is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault Update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active, and access to our Discord server, where every single Wednesday, we have a live lab session covering the week's Vault content and any questions you guys have about Madden. So make sure you guys head over to GridironGamePlans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. Now, what I'm going to show you here today is a really good tip that you guys can use in the event that you are, wanting to block a running back to pick this up. Because what you'll notice oftentimes is that the running back will still allow the contain rusher to come in. EA claims that, like with this particular patch, that they fix the running back and how they, they pursue these contains or target these contains, or at least they tried to make changes to make the running back do better. But as you can see, that's really not the case. So blocking the running back is really where this has been a problematic thing for the entire first 2 months or so of the game, which led towards more players just saying screw it and going with the tight end delay fade. Again, I'll kind of show this to you. If you just block the running back, a lot of times he steps up and then just lets that guy run right around him for a sack. And that's really not what you want out of this. So enter the ID the mic mechanic. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you guys what I prefer with this. You could start off going 5 out. And then if it doesn't work for you guys, you can work the running back in, and then it will work. So the first thing that I typically will do when I'm getting blitzed like this is I will start with an ID the mic of the running back side corner. And a lot of times that works, but when it doesn't, you can go ahead and block the running back and pick this up. Now, again, as we mentioned, not doing anything, the 5-man protection is actually a little bit better. But again, if you find an opponent that really knows what they're doing, you can see right there that, you can almost get it to come in. But you saw right there that the IDing the mic on the corner caused no free runners. All I did there was just slap the ID on that outside corner on the left. And you see that everybody got picked up there on that play. Now, again, just kind of depends on what your opponent is doing, if they're spreading, if they're crashing up, if they're crashing down, where they're standing. There's a lot of different variables in play that can make an edge rusher on a contain come in. But in general, what you're going to see here is right there, it came in, right? So changing where I stood, I spread the line, it changed things, right? So here's what you do when somebody is still getting to your quarterback out of this defense. I will block the running back, slide protect away from the running back, and ID the outside corner on the running back side. So against that last blitz, that was a spread, crash up, global blitz the linebackers, QB contain, and then we kind of stood on the running back side. And what a slide protection does is it basically tells the offensive lineman which 5 defenders to really target. So when we slide protect to the right, we're telling the defense, or we're telling the offense, to block the 5 most right defensive rushers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then when you block the running back, he is the one that goes opposite of your slide protection. A lot of players think that traditionally when you slide protect and block a running back, the running back runs to the side that you slide protected to. It's actually the opposite. If you slide protect right, the running back goes left. If you slide protect to the left, the running back goes right. So what we've effectively done here is we've said, hey, we want the offensive line to block the right contain, the right defensive end that's glowing, the nose tackle, Kendricks, and Wanham. And then we're telling the running back that he's responsible for the 6th rusher, which is coming from the left side. And we've told the running back with the ID the mic mechanic to look at the corner. And then when that corner doesn't blitz, the running back will then retarget to the next most interior rusher that he can find, which allows him to be in a better spot to pick this up. So let's go ahead, and in general, this is a great tip for pretty much any blitz you're struggling with, just for the record. But obviously Nickel 335 is one of the most spammed blitzes in Madden history. So with that, again, we block the running back, we have slide protected to the right, and we have ID'd the mic on the left of screen corner. And then when we snap this ball, lo and behold, the running back does his job and picks that up. But we had a little bit of a weird, I want to say, like unstoppable force. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the defense out of the zone here, because I think that that might have been a little bit of the culprit right there. So let me go ahead and let's just go ahead and try to maybe run commit and then get him out of the zone, and then we'll see what happens with the targeting afterwards. Because in general, that is how you pick up a blitz, and really any blitz in Madden, is with a slide protect, block the running back, and then you can ID on the player that you think is coming or the player outside of that player. So let's go back to that same setup. Kind of looks something like this. Again, we're going to slide protect to the right, block the running back, and ID the outside corner on the running back side. Again, I'm pass committing, I'm strafing, and you should see here that everything is picked up accordingly. Looks beautiful. And what was coming in initially doesn't come in here. Obviously, that rep before with the guy glowing, that kind of changed how the right of screen kind of targeted. So again, there are different things, and I've noticed that this year in general, when you get a guy who's in the zone on the defensive line as a pass rusher, it definitely changes the targeting, sometimes for the better for the defense and sometimes actually for the worse. So really, when I get a guy that's in the zone, you want him blocked because he's going to guarantee an instant win. So if you've got a free runner, it doesn't really pay you any dividends to have an X factor player that's designed to be a free runner in your blitz. It actually benefits you more as a defense to be able to kick him inside, where he's going to garner the attention, and then he's also going to instantly shed. So when you go from Danielle Hunter being in the zone, that's why the guy outside came in on that previous rep. Whereas when we got him out of the zone, we ended up with the blitz pickup actually working on the next down. So this is kind of a tip that in general, it's going to apply to the nickel 3-3-5 wide. I kind of wanted to take a look at some of the contain changes. The 5-man pickup stock is better, but it's definitely not foolproof. So I wanted to give you guys a different slide protection for those of you that maybe still struggle with this from time to time, and you guys can apply this to pretty much any blitz that you guys like. So there's today's video, guys. If you guys liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys consider subscribing here to the YouTube channel. We upload free content weekly, Monday through Friday. Make sure you guys also check out my Twitter channels. Twitter, it's @ZanMadden, Twitch @ZanMadden, and also obviously check out gridirongameplans.gg. Hopefully I'll see you guys over there in the Gridiron Discord. Otherwise, we'll see you guys right back here with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Hit the lab and good luck.